afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and co-hosting with me today is my sicky poo friend, David. Hello, David.
Hi, Pam. How are you?
I'm good. David still got his cold, so hopefully next time we hear from him, he won't have it anymore. Are you feeling any better, though?
Yeah, I am. I'm feeling a little better, thank you.
Okay, good. Well, today we are so very happy to have a special guest with us, and we have come to love and adore him as Felix DuBois on General Hosptial. Welcome, Marc Anthony Samuel, the man with three names.
Hey. Hello. Yeah, three names. It could keep on going. Marc Anthony Samuel, Peter, Paul, Mary, Fred, Wilma, on into the stratosphere. What's going on, Pam? What's going on, David? How you doing? David, you didn't even say you were sick. You said nothing about being sick.
I'm not really sick. I just had I have dumb allergies that like to bug me like every other 3 days. And
Okay. I wouldn't have been able to tell with your voice. I mean, you know how it sounds. You know how it is when you're stuffed up. You didn't even sound stuffed up.
Yeah. Thank you. That's the news, I think.
That's good to know, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I get like that too, especially springtime and in the fall with my allergies are really bad. But I take Zyrtec every night before bed, and I love it because it works 99% of the time. So
I feel like we're in a commercial now for Zyrtec.
I know, right? And we're putting you up for that commercial now. Go ahead, talk about Zyrtec.
Right.
No, I'm only kidding.
Nice.
Well, first of all, as I said, we absolutely love you on General Hosptial. We are so very delighted that you're on there, and we hope it's for a very long time.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. How did you get your part on GH?
Well, my management team had set me up an appointment with Mark Tessner, the casting director for General Hosptial, and I went in. Like most of us actors, we were always hitting the pavement, looking for our gigs and stuff, and this came up. I went in, auditioned, and Mark was really great. He told me right after I'd finished reading, hold on to that. I'm going to take you to the producers, and that was great because sometimes when you read in L.A., you'll read something and you won't hear for a long time or you won't hear at all. So I was surprised. I was like, oh, great, okay. So then I got taken to producers, at which I had met Frank Valentini, who's the exec producer, and I'd read with some other folks, and that was some of my contemporaries, some of my good friends. We all read and auditioned against each other, and then got called a couple days later for a screen test. And at that time, I got to read with my now dear friends, Teresa Castillo, who plays Marina Santiago on the show. We tested together,
love her too.
Yes, he's fantastic. And when I read with Teresa, we finished our test, and it was so funny. I just knew at that point. I knew right afterwards. We connected right on the set. I knew right then that I felt like I did a good enough job to get the job. And lo and behold, a couple days later, they called and offered me the role.
And did you say, I knew you were going to call me?
No, yeah, exactly. I don't know if that would have been the best foot forward. Yeah, it's about time y'all called.
Right?
Make me wait. Exactly. That would not be cool. That would not be cool. I responded as any actor would do. I was calm on the phone, and afterwards started breakdancing in my room.
Right? So you had no qualms about it being a soap opera then, like some people do?
Absolutely not. No, come on. I mean, on soaps, you're going to find a lot of highly skilled actors. I think soaps kind of get a bad rap because I don't think people understand the amount of work and amount of skill you have to have in order to quickly process and put out information and make it your own. And, I mean, I work with a bunch of, consummate professionals who've been in the game for a long time doing their thing, and it's a privilege for me to be around them. I get to see how well they work, what they do, and it's really impressive. in addition to doing the show, I mean, I'm doing, appearances on TV shows, like guest appearances, and doing films. And in comparison to soap opera acting, everything else is a much slower pace. You wouldn't even believe how much slower it is. So after being on GH, it's just, everything else is like, wow, hurry up, guys, come on, we can do this.
Yeah, you kind of sit there tapping your foot going, oh, my God, come on, move it.
Yeah, these guys are seriously a well-oiled machine. They've been, obviously, 50 years. I mean, they've been in the game for a minute. You practice at something for a week, you get really good at it. If you practice something for 50 years, you are the standard by which other things are measured. So, I mean, to be able to be in company with this group of people, for me, is a huge privilege.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, your family had to be ecstatic for you as well. Do they watch soaps?
It's funny. My family didn't watch soaps. My grandparents did, and there was one summer I spent watching it and playing basketball all summer. That was my whole summer back in Chicago one year. I would come back. I came back there to visit family from Oregon, and but when I told them, they jumped on board immediately. They were really, really excited and supportive, and now I have friends and family watching soap for the first time, and in some cases the first time in their life, and others first time in years. And then I have friends that I didn't know. They're like, well, I usually watch this show, but since you're gonna be on this, I'll watch. So they've shared their viewership.
That's true friendship.
Yeah, exactly. You know it.
And there couldn't be a more perfect time for you to join GH and for them to start watching with everything that's been going on. And the Nurses' Ball, I mean, my gosh, that Nurses' Ball, we have waited so long for that to come back, and it was phenomenal. I can't say enough about it. How did you feel knowing that you were going to be part of such a big history of GH?
Well, the first thing that I thought when they had told me that, we have the Nurses' Ball coming up and you're going to be an integral part of it was, I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, no.
I don't want to mess up this tradition. I hope I'm up. That was my private thoughts. But what came out of my mouth was, all right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's do it. Frank and Ron, they put together such an amazing show. And it's so fun. It was such a great bonding experience to be able to work with all these actors, one that I had come up seeing on television, but also people that I didn't get to see very often at the studio because we all have different work times.
Yeah.
So to be able to come together and watch everybody do something a little outside of their comfort zone, and in some cases truly excel, some cases it was right in their comfort zone. It was just awesome. I had such a good time. It was a fun boot camp. If those two things could possibly go together,
right?
Boot camp and fun, that's what the Nurses' Ball rehearsals and performance was. We got to really support and cheer each other on, and just really get into it. Half the time we were cracking each other up in between takes, to the point where the exec director had to be like, "Hey, look, come on, guys, come on." It's like putting two troublemakers in class in the same next to each other in classroom. We were having such a blast. It was awesome.
Well, I know how much we laughed and we enjoyed it, so I can imagine doing it and being in the middle of it. You can't help but laugh, and have fun. I watched the live stream at the Paley Center last night with General Hosptial with Frank Valentini and Ron Carlovati there, and
I was there too.
Wonderful. You were there?
I was there. Yeah, I wasn't sitting on stage with them. They only had a certain number of seats, but Teresa and I were there. Chad, a lot of us were there in the audience with some of the fans, and can I tell you, it was wonderful to be around people that really supported the show and your endeavors and stuff. I mean, it was cool. It was the best audience that I've ever been able to see.
I did not miss a minute of it. I mean, it was so emotional for me in so many ways. I mean, to see all the people in the audience and then see all the actors up there and them talking about backstories, from back in the day and talking about now and what it meant to them. And the one lady that got up in the audience and she was talking about how much she loved him and she was thanking GH and she was almost in tears. She almost made me cry.
Oh yeah, I believe she was in the very top back row. I saw her speak. She said hi to us as we were walking in. She was so sweet. I mean, you could hear the emotion in a lot of people's voices.
Yeah.
Just hearing some of the testimony. I sound like we're in court. Hearing some of the stories from the fans and some of the cast members, it really dawned on me. It had a very profound effect on how important a show can be, and it can be for people, and it can make positive changes in a society or an environment, and it's entertaining at the same time. And it just added to the thrill of being a part of the cast.
Yeah, and it was funny when they were talking about their special returns and not giving out the real names and saying Bob and whoever else. I thought that was hysterical. And Jane Elliott saying she would call in for her call time and hear, your call time is at this and Bob's call time is at that. And that was
nobody
so
knows
funny.
who Bob is.
Yeah.
Who's Bob? Yeah. I remember on my test, my name was something else too. I actually thought my name was going to be Dante.
Really?
Yeah, that was the code name for my name, Dante. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll be Dante.
That's funny, since there's already one on there,
Exactly.
Well, how did you prepare for your Magic Milo dance? I mean, were you surprised to find out that you had to do a striptease?
I was very surprised that I had to do a striptease, but I did start. I mean, I've always had kind of a fitness background. I was a collegiate athlete, and I never really stopped working out. And when I found out I got the show, I started working out even more because I didn't want to be the one caught off guard. I just did not want to be caught off guard. I was like,
the men are always stripping on there, so.
Exactly. Everyone knows this. I mean, no one that gets look, if you book a soap opera, just start working out. Just work out. It's whatever you got to do, because at some point they're going to be in the script. It's going to say so and so takes his shirt off, and but I didn't think it was going to be like. I mean, I thought my debut of no shirt wearing was going to be a little more, I don't know, sedate, simple, just stripping it off on stage and shaking it. But hey, we got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Now, are you normally good with dance moves? I mean, was the choreograph really easy for you?
We have a really great choreographer, and I'm not a trained dancer, so they had to kind of break it down to me in pretty simple terms. I think all of us, and yet none of us were really dancers. Bradford has experience with musical theater.
Oh my gosh, he cracked me up.
He does counts and stuff. I found out that I have an aptitude for it, including the counts and stuff. I didn't know because it was not something I did, but I really enjoyed it. It was good. I mean, I had fun doing it. I had fun doing arranged moves. But as far as the freestyling part, I've always liked to move and dance and stuff just for fun, going out, that kind of dancing. But, it was fun. Worked out.
It always helps if you're able to dance in any form. My poor mother, she used to go out with us, and we always went out dancing, and she just did not have it in her. She tried.
My
she
brother
really
Chris
tried.
is going to kill me for saying this. I love my brother Chris. I know he's not listening, but I'm going to just put it for the record. I love my brother Chris. But Chris didn't get that gene either, and it's just sometimes that happens,